turn to the war in Ukraine, where Russia has launched a deadly overnight barrage of missiles and drones at the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv. According to local officials, at least 13 people were killed in the capital, along with 6 others in the wider Kyiv region. Moscow's latest attack comes after President Trump held separate calls with Russian leader Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky over the weekend to discuss ending the conflict. Now, for more on this, we're joined by CBS News international reporter Aiden Stretch live from Kyiv. Aiden, what more can you tell us about that attack last night? What's happening on the ground there? It looks awful.
Yeah, well, you can see some of the aftermath behind me. We're here in the northwestern part of the city. This is one of 16 residential buildings that was hit in the attack that included 351 drones, 68 missiles. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said that a majority of those drones were intercepted, but that 29 ballistic missiles got through. And if you'll just walk with me for a moment, I want to show you some of the damage that was caused at this 9-story apartment block. And then down here, you can see emergency workers who tell us that when they arrived in the early hours of this morning, 2 more missiles landed nearby, and they've been working now for more than 12 hours to clean up this damage that you can see behind me.
So let's talk about why Ukraine is struggling to defend itself against these Russian ballistic missiles, Aiden. They have received material from the United States, although I note that President Zelensky has said that those are dwindling and running out.
Well, the main issue here is that there's just a very limited supply of components around the world that can be used to defend against these ballistic missiles. So American-made PAC-3 interceptor missiles, which are fired out of American-made Patriot systems, are some of the only reliable defenses. Those interceptors themselves are produced by Lockheed Martin, and there's just not enough of them here in the Middle East, really anywhere. You're talking about global shortages. And Ukraine appreciates that. We spoke to President Zelensky last week at the site of one of these attacks, who said he understands that there are global shortages, but that you can see the price that we are all paying, and especially the residents of Kyiv, for not getting some of those global supplies here more quickly.
And Aiden, we know that the NATO summit is happening this week. Talk about how you expect this conflict to be, on the agenda.
Well, we know that President Trump is going to meet with President Zelensky at the NATO summit, and Ukrainian officials tell me that top of the list of their conversation is going to be securing more of these ballistic interceptors. We also know that President Zelensky's aides have been talking regularly with Jared Kushner over the past several weeks, but they haven't gotten a direct answer as to whether the U.S. is willing to provide these defenses. But again, Zelensky is going to ask Trump for them tomorrow, and we'll see what he says.
All right, Aiden, we appreciate you as always. Thank you very much.